Hey, I'm live. I'm wondering if this live is already live on my Telegram page. Do not know. I'm not going to be staying on here for too long because I have an appointment that I have to see what time it's supposed to be because I'm not quite clear. Huh. Okay. Yes. All right. I wonder why that is. Ay, ay, ay. Google's trying to take over my calendar. And I don't want Google to take over the calendar because no, I like it on my phone and I don't know how to figure that out. I hate that. Opening calendar, but it puts you on Google Calendar. It's like, well, why are you doing this? Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go live on all the other entities. You know, it's so annoying that these other entities that do not they don't want to they don't want to combine things. But I guess, because everybody wants to stay on top, which is exactly what what they want to do. But you know, it's understandable. So they're not trying to make it easy for you. They're just trying to make it. That's what they want. They just want to make it, and they don't care about you. And I think that's something that possibly we have to eventually start to do for our own selves, for our own mental well-being. It's like you don't want to care too much about other things, um, or else it'll bring you down. And I know that sounds selfish, but you have to be sometimes because things will hold on to you and drown you, and you won't be able to get past. Oh no, hold on, you guys. I've gotta get something that is going on right now. You know what? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. My USB is is on, and the sound. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm coming right back. I'm right here. Ooh, here we go. Yay! Had to turn this off. If I didn't turn it off, you know what would happen? Probably wouldn't be able to hear me too well. So, going live on the Tickety Talk. I'm not going to be on here for too long though. Can I do it like this? Can I do it like this? Can I get all three of them like this? It's another point of view. It's another way. I think it might work. So now I'm looking down. All three of me is looking down. I've got three cameras on me right now. YouTube in the center, Tickety Talk on the left, and Instagram on the right. Hi, you guys. Hey, hi. Hey, how are you? How are you? I'm trying to go live on my TikTok so I can do more. I've been doing live on Instagram as well. He's Barbara. Yeah, I've been going live on my TikTok and I've been going live on my Instagram and my YouTube. The Instagram I have a new page, so people are not on there as much, but I had to because Instagram they like to do things. I think all the entities do this, especially when they get bigger and they don't need you anymore. They kind of like, well, we don't like what you said here, and we're not going to tell you why. We're just going to stop showing your videos and pay us money please, well, not please, you have to if you want to be seen or do anything. And I think that if people started to recognize some of these things and recognize the power that they had, they would possibly, oh, thank you. Here, I usually have my hair pulled back. And then people tell me I look bald, which is funny. Um, but I think if people possibly started to recognize, not possibly, if people started to recognize that the entities need you and you do not need them, then the entities would act accordingly. But right now, we pay them, or they get paid from us, um, and we don't recognize it, so we are disposable. It's like, yeah, we're gonna hide your stuff, so we don't feel like showing your face because you said something that may make us lose money. And money, the love of money, is what is ruling the world at this very moment. People like to say that saying. They like to say, the love of money is the root of all evil, or they say, money is the root of all evil. They usually misquote that. But it's the love of money is the root of all evil. Not recognizing that they are doused in it. It's like gasoline. They're just bathing in it. And the love of money. And they don't see it in that way, which is very interesting. And then they feel like they have things are out of their control, so they comply. And then they say, well, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to recognize that you're being ruled by money, even if it's not directly through you, it's around you. And to say no, absolutely not, I refuse to do it, I'm not going to do it. And if you do that, then you will see things change in your life like you would never believe. However, you will lose people. People do not want to be around you because they're afraid. And you don't really want to be around people who are afraid because it will install fear in you, which make you doubt yourself and will make the things that you're desiring to come into your life to not come into your life. Hey, good morning, Gavin. I hope you're having an excellent day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Remember, you're beautiful and you are loved. That's very nice, inspiring words. I appreciate it. So you guys, I'm on here usually every day. I missed out yesterday doing my lives, and I talk about manifestation. If you guys are interested in manifestation, please stick around. Ask me questions. I'm more than happy to answer these questions about manifestation, because manifestation is not a thing that you do once in a while. It's a way of being, and it is taught. It's been taught for a long time, but now it's been mistaught. And when I say that, I mean the religions of the world are talking about manifestation. However, they become religions of the world. It's become a whole other entity. And so now people don't see them as how they're really supposed to be, which is to teach you how to be spiritual. They are just teaching you how to be a Buddhist or a Christian or a Hindu or Muslim. And that is not what the purpose of it was supposed to be. And no shade. I'm just letting you guys know that if you guys are really religious, you may not want to stick around, because I'm going to say what I'm going to say, because I have a whole different point of view than what other people will tell you. So if somebody says something on here that I do not agree with, I'm not going to blast you and tell you you're terrible, but I'm going to firmly say, I really just don't agree with that. And my point of view is my point of view. However, it is not a very common point of view that is put out there. And if it is very commercialized and misspoken, misinterpreted. And I'm here to talk about the correct things about it, and I can provide proof to you about where you'll find these things. And because I'd like to talk about things with substance and actually tell you where you can find stuff for yourself. Sometimes people just want to hear things and they don't want to inspect it and figure it out and find out if it's working or if it's not. They know about it, but they don't have wisdom about it. And that can be very detrimental to you and your progress in your life. There's a lot of stuff that's been placed in people's minds about certain things that have really put them in a sideways. And sometimes it really upsets me when I when I talk to people and the suffering, the mental anguish that they go through due to things that have been placed into their minds because of their religion, because of social beliefs, because they are holding themselves back. It's disheartening. But at the same time, I'm here to talk about things that are contrary, and I'm just letting you guys know. So that's I'm just putting it out there. I also sometimes have people that say really trolly things, I guess. Yeah, somebody like right now, somebody's like, "Hey, Boba, what are your pronouns?" Yo, Boba, what are your pronouns? Tell me what your pronouns are, and then I will not call you that because I can't see you, and I know that you're just trolling me. But I'm I'm really at this point in time hoping, hey Kathy, at this point in time that you are comfortable enough to assume what you see before you on the screen talking to you and call me by that. Please and thank y'all. Hey Patrick. No, I'm wondering what they are. No, no, don't wonder. Assume. Assume. Assume that. Assume whatever it is that you feel like when you look at me, that whatever that pronoun is, you go by. Just go by your instinct. Okay? And being that we're not going to be speaking face to face, I mean, unless you actually want to, because I do have a class where I do talk to people face to face, and you know, usually I call out the trolls, but I talk face to face, and sometimes they show them their faces on the camera, and we have a respectful conversation. If you would like to do that, you can. I have a class every Saturday, which is tomorrow at it's 11:11. It's 11:11, you guys. It's at my class starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The class is talking about manifestation, and usually I have a presentation and I'll put little graphics up and everything. I go in and I talk about little things about manifestation. Not little things. I go into detail about manifestation. Some of the details are not widely known, so basically, when it comes to manifestation, it's very commercialized. It's been around. It's always been around, but it's now hit another wave. The new wave, which is the new age, which is the first thing that I actually heard. Well, the Secret was one of them, but there's always like Jerry and Esther Hicks. Abraham Hicks. It started. It didn't get popular until that Secret. People were like, "Oh, I love a secret. Tell me that secret." And then they, good morning, Brian D. Sykes. Good morning. So they started to have conversations about the secret because everybody loves a secret. Who doesn't love a secret? I'm going to put the secret out there and you can read it in the book. And so people started to learn about manifestation through that. And it became a bit woo woo because it wasn't explained in depth. It's something that you're doing all the time. You don't think that you're doing. You think, oh, I'm going to manifest some money. And it's like, yeah, you're already manifesting not having money. So that means you're just going to change your mind, turn your mind around. You're going to repent. That is the true sense and meaning of the word. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know what that means, Brian, but I guess I'm hearing this word cap a lot. I'm not hip and cool. If any young people in here want to tell me what cap means, please inform me, because there's people just saying things and I don't understand it. And to look it up on Google, it seems like there's so many different definitions. I have a hard red dictionary from like college. Fronting. Oh, thank you. He put it in a term that I know from a time when I was young. Why are you fronting? Why are you saying cap though? Where did that come from? Because all the words kind of like come from something. One love turned into one, and now we don't say anything. Thanks for the roses. I really appreciate it, Brian. Thank you. I love roses. Lying, exaggerating. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, I guess maybe putting the cap on your head. I don't know. I don't understand where it came from. Lying, exaggerating, and fronting. Okay, okay, that's cap. Okay, that's exaggeration. Where did they get that from? I guess I'll have to find that out. The kids these days with their definitions. Um, so yeah, in my class, Okay, somebody says non-binary. Why are we saying this? In this, first of all, I'm gonna just be real. All right, you guys are on TikTok. I'm talking to people on TikTok, and why do we have to talk about the sexuality in any way and not just have a conversation? Like, why? Doesn't that get exhausting? I just want to talk to whoever. I don't care what you identify as. I just want to engage in excellent conversation, intellectual intercourse. That is something that I think that we should all strive for, especially if you're coming onto my live. But the whole other, like all the other stuff is okay, exaggerating. Cap. It's a cap. Hello, Miss Butterworth. Okay, Knight Rider. I misspelled it. Would you explain the significance of 1111 and why you tell us what it's in what? Why you tell us it's 1111? Oh, okay. So 1111. Well, these are like they say the angel numbers, but it's like you're recognizing that you're becoming in sync with the universe. There's lots of rhythms in the universe that we do not recognize. Period. Point, period, blank. Even within our lives, our love lives especially, we'll have a lot of things that happen and we do not recognize it. Sometimes you go to a therapist or you talk to somebody and you're like, oh, I never realized that. Ah, right? Well, the universe is always talking to you. Okay. When I first started to get into all this, the first numbers that I saw were 1111. One being the beginning of something. It was at first I was thinking, oh, it's 1111. And then every day at the same time, I would just see the 1111. And then I started to see 333, 444, and I started to write it down every day. I was seeing it multiple times of the day. It was like, this is alarming how weird it is. But it was because I'm recognizing patterns, recognizing I'm coming in sync with the universe and it's talking to you. A number girl now. Oh geez, a number girl. No, Night Rider. Interesting name. 1200. Is that what it is? Night Rider 1200. No, I'm not a number girl. I'm explaining to somebody that actually had a genuine question about manifesting. Um, and hopefully people will understand because people are like, oh, 1111. And they go and they look it up. The best thing I invite you guys to do is do a study of numbers and how they're created. And then you will understand what one means instead of because the 1111 is just symbolic of one, but it's just the beginnings of things. And don't look at the definitions of what other people are saying because a lot of times it's not completely true. There's a lot more to it. Yes, it's been happening to me for the last 2 years. Yep, you're becoming more attuned and more aware. That's what it is. And you're recognizing the patterns inside of the universe. The universe is always talking to you. It talks to you all of the time, sometimes in complete sentences. It's odd. It's odd. And then you see it has a sense of humor as well. But at the same time, you recognize that it is you. And then you're like, I have a sense of humor. I'm hilarious. Sometimes you can't help but laugh, you know? But yeah, the 1111 is something that helps me know that I'm on track. I'm in sync. I'm raising my vibration, and I'm mimicking Ralph Smart. That's what I'm doing. Um, but that's why I say it because it's like, oh, every day I've been doing that, and it's like, oh, and it's natural. You're not thinking because I was like, oh, what time is it in my mind? Because I was going to tell you about the time that I have my free manifestation 101 class where I talk to people about stuff and do presentations about manifestation. And I just looked up at the clock because I was like, oh, what time is it? And it's 11:11. So it usually comes naturally. I can be in the middle of really serious thoughts, or I can be doing something super meaningful, and boom, I see the consecutive numbers. Yes, and a really serious thought. Yes, 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 yes. That's how it goes. You're just being natural and in the zone, and then when you start to recognize that, you start to get deeper and deeper. The things that you're having deep thought about, pay attention to what you're thinking. It will pop up too. Okay, so make sure you're being careful with your thoughts. So somebody's saying, this is cute. Somebody says, Brian, are you an 80s baby? That's cute. Are you help with that? I have a question. Yes, yes. Any wait, Knight Rider, I don't understand what you're saying, but if you want to ask a question, please ask a question. And no, I'm not an 80s baby, Brian. Sorry. I'm a 70s baby. I know I'm older than you. That is so cute. Can you help with a number question? I mean, if I can, I will tell you. If I can, I'll tell you I don't know it. I don't have any shade or shame in that. There's a lot of definitions and stuff that's being said right now when it comes to manifestation that they're like changing it. Just like they said, cap has just been explained to me, fronting. It's like, why didn't they just say fronting? Because every generation has to own the words. Every generation believes themselves to be modern, including in biblical times. They all thought themselves to be modern. You don't think now, when you think back in the 80s or 70s or whatever, who said there, Brian? Yeah, don't think we're not modern. You think, I'm hip. You doing all the stuff that they do from that time, and you're thinking, I'm hip. I'm in the now. You don't ever think that you're not modern. So, okay, hold on. Let's see. So please ask me that question, Knight Rider. Tell me why you call yourself Knight Rider. You look beautiful. Thank you, Kayla. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Nice words. I really appreciate nice words, you guys. There are some mean things that are being said in here sometimes. Not today. But I'm always a sucker for nice words and gifts and just niceness. I'm a sucker for it. Tell me more about my voice. Okay, okay. Everyone I look in the mirror, I see the number one. Every time on any mirror, it's a number one. Okay, well, that's cool. Pay attention to where else, Night Rider, that you will see those numbers, and you may be astounded because you might find that you had been walking down a neighborhood for years and never recognized that there was a 1 1 1 1 in that same area. It's like, what? Sometimes your mind is so shut off to things, you are not able to pick it up vibrationally until you are able to pick it up vibrationally. It's like you don't see it until you see it. And you're like, has that always been that way? It's like, I never recognized that. That's what happens. So pay attention to those ones. You'll see more. How does a person go about bettering themselves? First thing you do to go about bettering yourself is figure out what would be better about you if you were to quote unquote better yourself, right? What is bettering myself look like? That's the first thing that you do. You're like, you know what? Bettering myself means I wake up earlier, I go to sleep earlier, I stop drinking coffee. Yes, I said that. I know there's a lot of coffee drinkers. Coffee drinkers do you boo boo, but coffee is a stimulant and you already have something inside of your body that helps you with that. Why do you need to have that other substance? What is going on? Why are you so tired? Why are you so drained? Start paying attention to these things, and when you start doing that, then you will start recognizing, oh, hi, anonymous. I didn't even see people were texting. I'm sorry, I missed these people. Hello, Angela. Thank you for joining. Oh, wow. What is that? Thank you. TikTok has all these amazing little things. As I drink my coffee, sorry, I need to stop. You know what? Do whatever feels good to you. But if you feel like you need to have that coffee, inspect that. Why is that happening? That's a way of getting yourself um that's a way of becoming better. That's bettering yourself. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Barbara. You know, better myself as a father, person, or someone's future husband. Wait a minute. I don't understand what you're saying, Brian. If you can say that again. Um, yeah, you drink your coffee, but why? And then when you start to go down that rabbit hole, because there are so many rabbit holes we can go on. You go into YouTube, there are rabbit holes. Rabbit holes. I went down the rabbit hole of thank you, Patrick. Awesome day, everyone. I went down the rabbit hole of Marilyn Monroe, and I was like, gosh, This lady, this poor lady, just been used all her life. Then you go further, and then you see the connections of things that you heard rumors about, but you're not taking that time out to look into yourself that same way. And when you do, you're like, oh my God, realized. I never even realized this about myself and the patterns. And then you go deeper and deeper, and you're like, I want to fix that. I don't like that. Well, what would it look like if I changed it? And then you go from there. Um, I think only because I made it a routine for myself. Now I feel like I need it. Okay, so routine is a thing. It's a code word for rhythm. And that's one of the things that the universe does. It loves rhythm. That's one of the seven principles that with manifestation, that's what it's talking about. Um, Rhythm is what you've cultivated with your coffee. You can change that if you want to. I should switch to tea. You should switch to whatever makes you feel good inside. I'm a tea drinker, but I drink tea in herbal teas and I make my own, and I like to look at the herbs and see what they mean, how they feel, and pay attention to what my body craves. Check your D. Okay, sure, no problem. I will check that. Um, so I drink that according to what my body is telling me that it needs. Somebody was came on one of my lives and they were talking about wanting to lose weight and wanting to be well actually wanting to eat they felt like it's so funny. People I know that people get really offended by certain things and they want to shut people out, but that shutting people out is the very thing that will give people answers sometimes to much needed questions, and it's really not the best thing to silence people. So you got to be very careful about this. So I'm trying to be careful because I'm on TikTok. She wanted to eat how a thin person she feels like they eat. I'm saying this as somebody that's a thin person. When she said this to me, I recognize that there's a lot of things that turmoil between being overweight versus not. And there's with that, people having to shut their mouths because they don't want to offend or get, in problems. But they don't communicate with each other to find out what each other is doing. There's some people that I know that were extremely thin and wanted to gain weight. They had problems with it. It was heartbreaking for them. We don't talk about that because people get offended. So this person wanted to lose weight, and they said that then people eat whatever they want. And I'm like, in a way, yes. However, I only eat what feels good to me. So sometimes I would eat with people who were not the same size as I was. And I'd be like, you guys, I am tapping out. This is too much. And the stuff that they were eating, I myself didn't eat because it didn't feel good to me. And then they were like, oh, you're just trying to, you can afford to put on weight. People will say the most meanest things sometimes to tell you, man, don't talk about people's size, period. Thin or not, don't talk about people's size. Don't do it. But anyways, I remember this one girl was calling me, you're skinny bitch, da, 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 and I was like, you're saying this shit to my face right now. Like, we're face to face. You think that I'm okay with this, but you're not. I'm not, but I'm not. But I didn't say that at first. I just let her say it. And then I was like, because I'm a talker. I'm going to defend myself. And I'm going to say things that are going to put thought in your mind. And I looked at her, very serious. And I said, you know what's very interesting? If I said the exact polar opposite of what you're saying to me at this moment, we would not be okay. And she was like, ugh. It's like, yes. Yes, bitch. Don't make me come for you. Because nobody wants to hear about their size and how they're not enough or they're too much. Stop. Anyway, back to this girl. The girl was talking about how, she wanted to lose weight accordingly. She wanted to lose weight accordingly. And she thought that people who have who are, thin, eat whatever they want. And it's true. However, I don't eat some of the stuff that people are eating that I don't feel is healthy because it feels bad. It feels bad inside. So I love cake. Oh, I love icing. I love cake and icing. You know what my favorite cake is? Red velvet. I love it. But I have a limit and I have to stop where I'm like, I can't eat anymore because if I bend over and I burp, the red velvet is going to come out of my mouth. I can't do it. And I also stop myself from getting to that point only because it doesn't feel good. I'm not talking about, oh, I feel satiated because people will say, oh, well, I have a chemical something that doesn't make me know that I'm satiated. Da, 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 da. We're not going to go into all of that. I'm saying, however, there is a thing inside of me that recognizes I don't feel good after I eat this one thing. I don't know if it's the oils or whatever, but it makes my tummy feel yucky. I don't want to eat it. No, thank you. Because it's not worth it to me because it doesn't feel good. Maybe I'll eat one or two and they're like, how could you eat one or two? It's because I know that if I eat the third one, my stomach is going to be like, girl, who is you playing with? What are you doing? So that's what happens. And if you start to recognize the cues that your body is telling you, then you'll be able to do a lot. Okay, wait, somebody's saying something. Yes, switch tea. Yes, I'm slowly trying to cleanse myself. It's been a journey. I start and stop. They don't understand that though. Who's they? Yes, that's exactly why I cut beef and pork from my diet. Makes me feel yucky afterwards. I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, Kayla. I'm going to tell you this. I did the vegan thing. That for me was the biggest mistake of ever. And I do not recommend it. And I do recommend that people look into these things. I can eat pork, but not really because sometimes some of the oils are a bit too much for my gut. Beef, I love, absolutely love. But you have to be careful of what people are cooking it in. There are oils that they're putting things in, and they say canola oil. Canola oil is this, it's cheap, but don't eat there's no Canada oil flour or vegetable. They put things in the food that don't mix too well with the body sometimes. So I would just recommend that you be careful of that. If you don't like beef, more power to you. I recognize when I did a vegan thing, and then I was denying myself. I was in misery. I was. It was like because I'm somebody that's like, okay, I said I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going to do it. But I was just like, yeah, I'm hungry, and I'm not a hungry person. I don't get hungry like that. And I was like, this is making me. I don't feel good eating this stuff, and it was just having problems with my gut and bloating and all sorts of stuff. Only to find out the plants are poisoning you. Plants are vicious. I'll tell you that. Plants. People think you're saving the planet because you're going to eat the plants. Plants have seeds, which means they have a life, which means they want to sustain their life. So be very aware of that. And they don't really want to be eaten. They don't really want that. And if you do eat them, they will get you. They will get you. Um, but when it comes to that, I actually did the vegan for a bit. Was miserable. Decided one day because my body was telling me I want to have a hamburger, and I ate that hamburger, and it was like my hamburger, hamburger, and I was just like, oh my god, I feel so. This is the best hamburger ever. What is this? What is in here? Right? 2 weeks later, I go to the doctor. The doctor's like, you're really anemic. And I was like, is that why I was so happy with that hamburger? Hamburger, hamburger. And I started to inspect and find out things. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? You know what's for me? Not those vegetables. Let me eat more of these beefs. Let me eat more beef and let me eat more whatever. That's my journey. However, you decide what's good for you. Pay attention to your gut. Pay attention to your gut feelings. We have been taught to shut that off as well. And then go from there. I only eat chicken and seafood. I used to love buffalo wings. I would travel and see what buffalo wings were like in different states because I wanted to see how they made it. And hands down, the best place is up, north. In the South, why are you putting ranch on the buffalo wings? Why are you asking me that? California did a really great job. They did a pretty good job with their buffalo wings. But seafood, yes, I love it. I love all of that too. I love seafood, and iodine is inside of seafood, which is really, really good. You might want to look up iodine and find out what's going on with your coffee and iodine. How iodine has been taken out of our diets and how desperately we need it. Um, yeah, you guys, I am going to be getting off this live soon. If anybody has any things that they want to ask or say, I would gladly be able, happy to say something right now, answer. Somebody asked me about the numbers, ask me something else, let me know. Join me on my class, free, link inside the bio, for Manifestation 101. Thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. And you know what? Share my stuff if you like what I'm saying. Go look at my videos. I talk about the law of attraction and law of assumption. How do you make your own tea? Sorry, I keep talking about this. No problem. First of all, let me tell you this. Herbs are medicinal. Plants are medicinal. Okay? When dealing with manifestation, understand that there's a masculine and feminine in everything. Plants are more in the feminine, and in each masculine and feminine, there's a masculine and feminine. There's a positive and a negative. Positive is masculine, negative is feminine. Plants versus meat. Plants are feminine, meat is going to be more masculine, okay? And that's inside of the energies. I can get into that another time. But how I make my tea is I just take the herbs. So you can have dandelion. Dandelion, you see them as a root, you see them as weeds. They're weeds. You see on the side on the highways. There's mugwort. You see them all over. That stuff is good, especially if you're a woman. You can take that. I myself don't like the fact that it's on the side of the highway because of those cars and the exhaust, and then also people walking their dogs and the dogs peeing on. I don't want to eat that. You got to go further out in the wilderness, and you take these leaves. You can go to, depending on where you are, you can go to, what is that? Whole Foods. They have dandelion root. It's bitter if you eat it, bitter if you eat it, but you can make tea out of it. You take those leaves, you boil it down, make it simmer, turn it off, and there's your tea. The water changes. The color of the water changes. That's the tea, and that's the tea. It sounds funny. And so you understand that these plants, as I said to you before, they can be vicious, but they can also be very kind and very loving. Okay? And they have their purposes. Minerals, vitamins, there's masculine and feminine, and they have their affinities. They like each other. You will not find calcium without magnesium. You have to have those two together, one on one. But, they put calcium in everything and no magnesium. I think, honestly, the state of anxiety and all that sort of stuff is a very profitable state for the higher ups. And so I can understand why they do that. Because to have you fearful is the best thing ever. Because if you are afraid, you'll do as I say. Okay. And especially if I make you think I have more power over you. How do you make your own tea, guys? I hope I answer that for you. Maybe a farmer's market? Nah. You don't have to. You can, like, I don't know where you're located. You can go on Amazon and order the dry leaves, and put them inside of they got these little metal things, and you can put your tea and steep them inside of that. This is my tea right here. My tea. In here I've got sorrel. I've got let's see, Palo de Arco. I've got a Vitex berry. Did I put nettle in there? I don't remember. A whole bunch of dry herbs that I put in there. and I put it inside of the hot water, and it does its thing, and it's going to the energy of it from the leaf is going to go into the water. You'll see the color of it change. You taste it, and oh, ginger. Put ginger in there. I love ginger. Um, it's so funny. Ginger and cinnamon, those are like hot. And sometimes, if you feel like you're cold inside, for me anyway, I'll drink those things. Um, but that's how you make your tea, and it's extremely easy and it's cheap. You can get a whole bunch of these leaves, and they put them in the boxes and those cute little plastic or maybe just paper type of stuff, and then they call that tea. You think black tea is the only tea? If you're trying to stay away from caffeine, don't drink the black tea. Don't drink the green tea. Um, Especially if you're having like issues as a woman, you don't want to do that. You got to be careful with the caffeine. And as a woman, I'll tell you that right now. Another African not working. Go figure. Who's saying that? Wait a minute, Jeremy. Where are you saying this from? I mean, obviously you're trolling, but I'm not African. I'm not African, and I'm not African American. And I know that people will like because you see a black face, you're like, you're African American. No, I'm not. I'm not. Stop saying that. Start learning people's cultures and start talking to people. There's nothing wrong with being African American, but I do like carrot curry. I love curry goat. Don't knock my food. Okay. Thank you, because good health is wealth, and that's what I want to attract for myself. That's what you are. So don't want to attract it. I am that. I am healthy. I am wealthy. Okay. You start embodying that and you start to recognize, yeah, that's what I am. I am these things already. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything further than what I am doing right now. And then what you do, because I know that sounds like, well, what about you have to work hard? This is where the masculine and feminine comes into play. You have to actually sit back. I want this, sit back, and then it'll come. If you have the anxieties and worries about it, you're not sitting back, you're having anxieties and worries about it, making it not come. I'm healthy, sit back and relax. Meditate or do whatever. You can do the hokey pokey if you want. I don't care. Whatever is going to relax you. And then you look and see what's going on about you. You start seeing synchronicities. You start seeing and feeling the joy within, and then you're like, yeah. You start getting attracted to the things that are healthier, and find out what's good for you. Um, and then you'll see those things manifest inside of your world. And it's very interesting when it all happens. It's very interesting. Sometimes it happens and it's like, oh, it would have happened anyway. And then you kind of disrespect yourself because you're the one that created it. You are the creator. Man, I feel really bad because it's people that were on my YouTube. I didn't see you guys, and I apologize. Angela and Anonymous, I totally apologize to you guys for not responding. Maybe you'll come back. Anyways, you guys, I have got to go because I have a meeting coming up, and I've got a lot of things I've got to do for today. It's Friday. Join me in my lives. I do my lives every weekday. I might be cutting them down because they kind of take a lot out, and I really want to be doing other things like creating content. I've been having some issues with creating the content. Have a nice day, Kayla. Kalia. Aaliyah. Wait, Aaliyah. I'm just gonna say Aaliyah. I liked Aaliyah. It means most supreme high being, right? The name Aaliyah. Um, yes, that's how you say it. Oh, okay. Which way? Because I said several ways. um, but yeah, I have these lives. Join me. And if you really want to have questions answered about manifesting, I mean, sure, we're talking about tea and that sort of stuff. But if you actually want to know about stuff with how to get the things that you're after, then join my class and we can talk, or you can do my Telegram and you can ask me questions in there. or send me a DM or whatever, and I'll answer. You guys, I will catch you guys later. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to shut these off one by one. End it now. End you guys. Bye. Toodaloo. And okay, I'm ending this on here.